Good evening, everybody. It's 8 o'clock, and welcome to today's episode of Marvelous Medicine, which is part of the series that we have been doing on medical innovations in India. Today being the fifth one, and we called the episode "An Eye from AI." We are very fortunate to have Dr. V. Bhujanga Rao, Chairman of Research Center, there at the Institute of Advanced Studies. He also retired from the Defense Research and Development Organization after working there for many years. He is the chief engineer of India's first cochlear implant and was instrumental in developing the AI-based smart glasses for the blind. Dr. Bhujanga Rao has received several national and international awards. Thank you so much, sir, for readily accepting our invitation to join us on Marvelous Medicine today. Along with him will be Mr. Rajesh Raju. He is the founder and CEO of Achala IT Solutions and Achala Health. Mr. Raju did his BTech from IIT Madras and his MBA in Strategy and Finance from the University of Chicago Booth School. Achala Health is focused on building India's first small language model for the healthcare industry. Rajesh currently represents Telangana on the NASSCOM SME Council, and he will be speaking about the technology behind AI Drishti, an innovative AI-powered smart glasses solution which is designed to empower the visually impaired. Moderating the session will be Dr. John Davis Akara. He's a glaucoma, cataract, and refractive surgeon in West End Eye Hospital and Chaitanya Eye Hospital at Kochi. Dr. John Davis Akara did his MBBS and MS from JIPMA, glaucoma fellowship from Arvind Eye Hospital, Pondicherry, and Ratan Tata Advanced Cataract Fellowship from Shankar Nethralaya. He has presented in state, national, and international conferences and has won paper, poster, video, and innovation awards at various conferences. He has innovated the foldable fundoscope, virtual reality perimetry, smartphone ophthalmic imaging, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, Raspberry Pi-based surgical recorder, 3D printed glaucoma drainage device, 3D printed surgical instruments, smartphone topographer, smartphone apps, and other innovation. It has several journal publications on innovation in ophthalmology, artificial intelligence, and smartphone slit lamp photography. So we thought, who better than an ophthalmologist and someone savvy with both AI and innovation. Thank you once again, all three of you, for joining us today. Over to you, sir.
Over to me.
Rajesh, will you be going first, or Dr. Bhujanga Rao?
Dr. Bhujanga Rao Garu will start first. Then I'll.
Over to you, Bhujanga Rao, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good evening to all of you. Thank you for inviting me to this program. And when I received this invitation to Dr. Vidya Mohan Ram, I was just thinking, we are this side engineers, you all others are doctors, and we can do surgeries and you can develop microchips. But I know we have a common interest, that is serving the society by complementing our normal work with new innovations which can be useful for the patients and other medical professionals. So I'm really thankful. I'm also thankful to Dr. Vidya for introducing me and taking interest in my biodata that she mentioned. I strongly believe successful interdisciplinary collaboration is essential for innovation in healthcare and medicine between both the doctors and engineers. As she mentioned, I come from KFRC. I'm heading as its chairman. KFRC, as I think, perhaps it is a research arm of KIMS group of hospitals. KIMS stands for Krishna Institute of Medical Sciences. It's a group of 25 hospitals across 5 states with nearly 10,000 beds together. And KFRC has been recognized by Ministry of Science and Technology as Zero Science and Industrial Research Organization. So that is one of the recognitions we got. Other University of Hyderabad and many other universities are also recognized as research center for doing work. So KFRC research areas broadly, the number of doctors as well as scientists are there. So they work on cancer biology, regenerative medicine, stem cell research, and medical devices. I mainly work on medical devices, and I will restrict myself to the subject of medical devices, which includes cochlear implant, as she has mentioned in the introduction. And I'll end up with what we have done recently as a AI-based smart glasses for the blind people. Let me say status of medical devices, because we are talking about innovation. This particular program, I understand, is basically centered around innovation in medical research. India imports nearly 85% of the medical devices, amounting to about $15 billion. Countries like US, Germany, and Netherlands, Singapore, China, they export these items to us. And majority of these items are manufactured. India also manufactures, but mostly majority of them are small ticket items. They're not big ticket. They're like disposable syringes, catheters, perfusion sets, and cannulas. Sometimes there are, of course, cardiac stents also there, drug-eluting stents, intraocular lenses, orthopedic implants, some limited. These are the things we do it in India. But largely we import medical devices which are required for the patients. That list, if I say, they include something like cochlear implants, nearly 10,000 cochlear implants, because 10,000 children are more than that is born every year. They are profoundly deaf people. They need cochlear implant to be implanted even before 2 years of age. Then we have vagal nerve stimulator for epilepsy, deep brain stimulators for Parkinson's, transcranial magnetic stimulators for deep depression, focused ultrasound technology for non-surgical Parkinson treatments, intracranial stents for brain strokes and aneurysms, and many other items. Many of these things are there. These devices can readily be developed in our country for less than 1/4 the cost if we can invest and train work towards that aim. Such work is generally India, research is carried out only in government institutions. Unfortunately, R&D in private organization is very, very less in India. It is one of the reasons. And India possesses very talented scientists and researchers needed to carry out this kind of work. We have scientists, but these some of these work, if you see what is the Indian scientists have done, that they have even developed nuclear submarines. They have developed 5th generation LCAs, essential defense items, space technologies, and many such things they achieved. But unfortunately, there is still some common misconception that India cannot produce medical technologies. When I talk to some doctors, they sometimes wonder. They say, we are developing like mobiles also. How can we do such implants and big items like that? It is not so. They have the capabilities. So I think, given an opportunity, if we take up in a properly directed manner, most of these devices can be developed within the country, and Indian scientists have possessed these technologies, and we have many laboratories which are also well equipped to undertake this work, both mostly, of course, in government sector. Today, the footprint of USA in India is 62%. Whereas our own footprint is only 6%. That means remaining thing is coming. And so well-defined strategy, strong focus of R&D working is very important. And this can be done by jointly when both doctors and engineers put their brains into that. So convergence of disciplines, technologies, computer science, physical sciences, engineering to generate these implants. A number of such things has to happen. And it is not only that, even medical schools and engineering schools should be housed in the same institution, I mean, as one umbrella, so that there should be a good interaction, which is not there today. We see somewhere there's a lot of disconnection between these two organizations. This is one of the reasons where you see in the US and other countries, they work together under one umbrella, so that the exchange is very faster there. So this is just, I thought I will mention, since we started medical innovation and devices, I thought of mentioning this. In fact, my journey into medical field, it all started as a hobby, one kind of, not hobby, or I can say some interest to do something for the society. So when I took the project of cochlear implant development, nothing to do with my work. My work was in naval technology. I was a designer of torpedoes, underwater mines, and underwater vehicles, submarine design. Those things are my subjects. I was doing that, but silently, I was also working on a cochlear implant program. And I was somehow motivated to do this by some professor at IIT Chennai, one mathematics professor, Dr. Paul. And because of him, I started that. And also I believe among disabilities, ear and eye, the two basically nature given sensors. If the sensors are not working, whereas other disabilities are different, polio and other mental, they're all mental sickness. There are some different kind of disabilities, whereas these two disabilities, profoundly deaf, profoundly blind, and especially in the lower state of the society for various reasons, there's too much, I mean, a lot of prevalence is there. And in case of blindness, even it is going to become, I mean, people are telling which will be diabetic capital of world, blind capital of world, India is going to become. So I started cochlear implant almost some 20-25 years back. And I was the chief designer. It was started as a myself and professor, some Andhra University, some like-minded people without funds. Then slowly we got some funds. Though I was DRDO, I never used DRDO funds for that. Until it reaches certain stage, then they also appreciate it. Okay, here is a person doing something, let us support them. Then we have SBMT, Society for Biomedical Technologies, one group, one society within DRDO for doing this work, and they have started funding it. Then something picked up fast. The first CA was implanted in a post-lingual patient at CMC Vellore in 2019, and it worked very well for 4 years, 5 months. Then it stopped working. There are many reasons for it, nothing to do with the design as such. And in fact, there was one feed through which is required, was imported from US. In fact, that the feed through, we believe, is the problem which created. There was a leak, fluid slowly going into the encapsulated part. So, but however, it was done, and it was first time a God-given sensor or nature-given sensor ear has been replaced by a human-made sensor in India. That was done by me under DRDO, under other organizations. Many institutions are involved. The list is big. So now advanced version is under development in DRDO further, and I'm sure another 3-4 years it will come into practically for use by the patients. That is the status is going on. And when I have done the trials, I started fundamentally. It starts from fundamentals. Now there's no necessity. All the technology is developed. Basis is very good basis created. I did even trials with guinea pigs. Used some professor from ENT surgeon from Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital at Delhi, and he did those trials. The idea was put electrodes in the first time in the brain of the guinea pig and evoke brainstem auditory response and see how my electrodes are working, because the first time we are making electrodes. After that, these are electrodes done under microscope, very small size. Then we did cadaver trials at FMC, that is Armed Forces Medical College. We could not do any other place. There are many bodies available, but I cannot do. There are permissions are required. They are so difficult. But overcoming all that, we could do. Then biocompatible trials. We did environmental trials, the reliability trials. Then developed a chip for that. It was done in a fab in Israel. Then, in fact, I needed 2 chips to be made. One internally, which goes inside the body. One is outside. But then there was no funds for doing the second chip. They said, no, you prove it Second chip, instead of chip, you can have a small size, like cell phone size thing. You can keep in the pocket and try it. So that's what I have done. Now, in the new model which is being developed, both chips are there. One external chip behind the ear, one inside the chip. Both chips. And then the Drug Control Journal of India has given permission to do human trials, and we did it. And Dr. Mary John, the ENT surgeon at CMC Vellore, she implanted in the body. And this is some satisfying work. Among other works I have done for the DRDO in the Navy, and I compare, there is all comes one balances compared to this particular work, which gives me more satisfaction that I have done something. I created a basic research platform for doing a cochlear implant. You know, the parallel part of for eye is bionic ear, bionic eye, bionic. This is nothing but bionic ear. That is bionic eye. In fact, whatever we do process in cochlear implant, we do exactly same in bionic ear also. Here we use auditory processor. There we use a video processor. Here we use electrodes in a linear fashion, which goes into the cochlea like a snail. Whereas in case of bionic eye, the electrode will be in a place in an area of 3 by 3 mm. That is the size of the retina. So we have to create electrodes there, and they have to be encapsulated properly. And creating such electrode, and minimum we need to see colors, pictures, everything 1000 by 1000 electrodes. But what we have succeeded so far is 8 by 8. Some people have tried, I think, 10 by 10. So with that electrodes, with that bionic eye made out of that, people could see some black shape, and in a plate of food, if you put, they can see some items are there. What are those items? They cannot see. That is the level. Now, again, the technology in bionic eye also has come off very well. There are 2 organizations doing in Australia, one in US, and the Elon Musk has started Neuralink. His work is slightly different from the conventional bionic eye. I will just briefly explain. The conventional bionic eye, we make a retina size electrode, put into the retina epiretinally or periretinally, either inside put it or behind the retina we can put it. And there was always a problem for the doctors to implant that. That is where we are always having problem, and also problem to increase the size of the number of electrodes. Unless we go to at least some 100 by 100, that kind, we will not able to create real those phosphanes they call it. When you have really create a electrical signal from the electrode as a sensitive, that called phosphanes, they give a visual tendency to see. So now what I have done is the visual cortex, which is there on the brain internally, both Neuralink, which is Elon Musk, and the other one, Monash University News, they have developed it and undergoing trials. They will put easily more electrodes and directly onto the cortex. So you excite the cortex. So what we see is not in the eye, but what we see is in the cortex. So that is the latest. And I have a very strong desire that we should have such a program, bionic eye program, because Dr. John Davis happens to be a very reputed ophthalmologist. He can appreciate my intention, my wish to do such work in India also. And it is not very difficult. We can really do. Thank you, Doctor. And we can do this work. And with many laboratories, with many scientists in India, it's really not very difficult. With the Elon Musk method or Monash University method of exciting directly the visual cortex is next to audio cortex is easier now. And all the electronics is easy. We have a camera, we have a converting processor, we have transcutaneous link, we have a RF link. This is all required. We have an RF link. All these can be technologies available. Only excitation of making the retina size 3 by 3 was very difficult. Now that is, people are going for the other method which I mentioned. I think one day we should do that, and I hope this program also highlight these kind of things, and especially some diseases like retinitis pigmentosa patients, and many of them can use these things. Now at KFRC, very briefly I'll explain. Then we'll move on to our main topic also. We also work on research on some biomaterials, and for embolization we need polyvinyl crystals, particles, with which one can easily embolize. Embolization is, medical procedure that we block the blood flow in a vessel. We have to use these materials. They are imported, very, very high cost. Maybe I might have not mentioned, one of the aim in KFRC for me is to bring down the cost of these things and give it to the patient at a lower cost. That is the wish all the time. How best they can use it. Okay, so we have developed these PVA emulsion crystals of medical grade with the IICT jointly at Hyderabad, Indian Institute of the Chemical Technology, and we are now started doing some animal trials. We have to see the efficacy of these PVA crystals done by us, the morphology. There are many aspects into that. So all those things are working. And this is one area which is also very important. Otherwise, we are importing these crystals, and this is very much required to stop, introduced into the body using some micro catheters, basically. So it will be introduced at the point where it is required, especially aneurysms and, this kind of tumor arteries. There's also some malformed vessels. So they need this. So this is one. Recently we have made some breakthrough, I can say. So once if we complete our animal trials, we are trying to do bigger animals, not rats and small animals, but bigger ones with one of the bioscience labs. Other one interesting thing is breast cancer detection at a much early stage, at least 3 to 4 years in advance. We have tied up with MIT. They have MIT Boston, yes. So they have given us one AI-based tool. So only thing is that is to be studied how far it is suitable for our ethnic humans. It was done in other for Asians also done in general, but not particularly Indian population. So that work we have started. We have got the tool and we got some training and we started. It is basically based on mammography based model. So we need mammography scans. So we are now taking old scans and see the patients who suffered and collecting their data. We are using this AI software for prediction of breast cancer. So, in fact, Professor Regina Barzilay, she is the person she's an electrical communication engineer in MIT. So, she herself suffered. She herself suffered from this breast cancer. So, she was the person behind this technology development, AI-based technology development, and is working very well. Now we have to demonstrate it in India also, and it can give at least 3 to 4 years in advance. Of course, there will be problems if somebody is told, you are going to have this problem and the emotional thing. Those are separate subject, but we are working on this kind of this is a kind of software using and predicting a cancer of that kind. Then another area, KIMS Secunderabad, KIMS Hospital is a major center of lung and heart transplantation. And I had some opportunity of working with them. They used to take a lung, the donors are very difficult to get. The number of people waitlisted with end of life diseases is more. So there's a big gap of availability of lungs and requirement. So we should use all the lungs properly before rejecting them. So for that, they do something called ex vivo perfusion. So this ex vivo perfusion was done, and reconditioning of the lung is done basically on qualitative methods. Just qualitatively, yes, the surgeon says now it is useful, use it. But now when I was told this, I told them I can give a quantitative way of judging this. So I have procured sensors of right sensors which are non-contact, so that the flow of the oxygenation, none of them should not be touched, because those things are very important, sterility and all that. So how to measure partial the dissolved oxygen content, dissolved carbon dioxide content, pH value, temperature, weight of the lung as the perfusion is occurred. There are limits. So all those things I could put an instrumentation. That was the first thing I did in KFRC when I joined. first thing I could see, here is a place something engineer can do immediately. So they also felt very happy. We imported all these sensors, and I could just do, and they are doing a lung ex vivo perfusion before transplantation. These measurements gave them a lot of confidence. Yeah, this particular lung can be used, it should not be rejected. See, what happens, we use such a lung, the problem is not seen immediately. After 6 months, or the patient starts suffering with the improper lung being having transplanted. So, but that could be avoided, because with this ex vivo perfusion, with this quantification of these parameters, one can be a judge thing very well. This one. Other one is one more in the organ transplantation. I think there is again some area where I could do something like the organs are to be transported like lung or heart. There are timings within this period you should transport from the receiver to the donor to the receiver. So we previously they were using ice bag and such temperatures, which was giving frostbite and other problems, which will be known only of some time after transplantation. It won't be seen immediately, and also the people bring in the road, in the train, in the aircraft. So it undergoes transportation vibration, transportation shock. These are also affects those cells actually. Because of that, and temperature varies. Sudden temperature shocks also will come. Very hot temperature to come suddenly come into AC temp. All these things we have studied. We have made a separate transportation box based on phase change material as a cooling system. They have specified a temperature of 48 degrees. We don't need 0 degrees and all that. We need 48 degrees. That is the temperature now followed across the world. And we have made such systems. And again, these systems are also undergoing a lot of trials now. We are going to use a porcine heart or a lung for this purpose to judge properly. The system is designed thoroughly in all respects. So this is another area where when I said medical devices, this is one such thing which easily engineer could easily see. Yes, we can do this for you. When I saw their problem, they're importing these systems at a very much higher cost and also problems. Then one more thing we just started very recently is electronic nose. So these days, electronic nose is nothing but a chemical analyzer. It can analyze the volatile organic compounds which comes from exhalation. When you exhale, we get there's some kind of volatile organic compounds, which has those compounds. If we analyze properly, we can analyze the problem that will be there. For example, lung. If there is a COPD, sometimes it leads to cancer. So when these ENOs can detect those things much earlier in advance, and we can take care that COPD not becoming into cancerous. By the time it is otherwise cancer, it becomes, and realize it is sometimes too late. This kind of thing, and also some of the infections of the lung. So this is one technology which we have started, and we are working with some this Netherlands firm of these ENOs, and it is having some arrays and sensors. And with that, just by taking exhalation by 30 seconds, not for a fraction of a second, you take exhalation exhaled air, and that from that we can get this data, and we can also predict much in advance some of these very dangerous diseases. This is some of these things we are doing at KFRC, and they're big list, but I have given you just a brief account of some of them. So this AI-based smart glasses is another work with Dr. Rajesh Raju, Achala IT Solutions, Achala Health Solutions. This is a very useful work we have done in the last, say, 1.5 years together. Originally, I had this idea of doing it almost 4 or 5 years back. I visited one blind school in Bangalore. When there was a discussion, some Israel firm has made one such smart glasses. It was costing something those days, 2 lakhs, something like that. Then I discussed with them, what is that you can afford? They said, sir, we cannot afford anything. If you can give something, say 10,000 and less, probably our families can afford. We are blind people and we are very poor people, and we are come from such a lower state of society. from in the thing. So from then I was working, and we made one smart glasses with one of the local engineering college there, myself and students of that, and we that could only store about 15 items, whether it could be 15 faces or 15 objects, are very limited, and there was no text to read and all that. Now, after that, I came to KFRC, and we could not expand it for various reasons. Then it was very much in my mind. Then it was my good luck that I met Rajesh Raju, and we discussed it. And he immediately said, "We'll do it." And again, he also had to think the right components and right design. And I think after 1.5 years or so, you have come up with a very viable solution. And Kim's group of hospitals, when we discussed with the chairman, managing director, Dr. Bhaskar Rao, he also immediately encouraged us. So that's how we did it. I think I leave with at this, and I request Rajesh Raju to explain further. And basically, my idea is not making something which is very costly. And also, AI system, they use cloud and other thing. We have to pay subscription charges for using that if you use our glasses. So all these things should be absorbed in our design and in our system, and try to give at affordable cost to those who can afford it. Those cannot afford, okay, we'll try to help them with philanthropic support given by various people. So that is the idea with which it worked, and we have distributed already 100 glasses in Hyderabad, 100 glasses in Srikakulam. We are planning to distribute 100 glasses in Nellore very soon, and like that we have up to plan many. We are working one by one. So over to Rajesh. You can please explain the.
Sure.
Continue.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Garu, for giving a complete overview of, all the research side. It's amazing that, there is so much research happening at KFRC, and so many medical innovations are coming through. So as when Dr. Vidya basically reached out to me, I felt that giving an overview of, all the things happening in the medical diagnostic space and the medical device space will give a good overview for this topic. And obviously, I will walk through some of the things for AI Drishti. So, as Dr. Garu has mentioned, Bhujangarao Garu, so we started a journey closely 18 months ago with a simple idea that, hey, IISc initially has started a prototype, and then they are able to do a few things with 10 or 15 images. And Dr. Garu approached me and said, is there something else we can do? Then we had some crazy ideas. We said, why don't we incorporate into the glass itself the chipset, and then make it the AI enabled on the glass itself. And we started initial designs, and we faced quite a few issues. And because we were importing the chips from US, it also complicated us in the costing, and we also put a kind of an upper limit as saying 10,000 is what we want to deliver to the blind people. Just to give a context about the blind numbers, right? There are around 24 million people in India with some kind of visual impairment. And out of that, around 8 million people are completely blind. Globally, there are around 39 million people blind, and 249 million people have vision loss or some kind of vision problems. So obviously, when we visited a couple of blind schools, and we felt that the problem can be separated out into two different segments. One is how do we help people when they are at home, and what can we do to people outside of home? So even when we started brainstorming, when we started thinking of the feature set, one of the things that came out very clearly is even having a normal way of life, when when you're sitting in a family room, you have 7 or 8 relatives next to you. Just to see who is sitting next to you is a very simple problem for all of us. But for a blind person to understand which cousin is sitting at what position seems very hard problem for them. And then Second thing is we also spoke to them. They said, I just want to read a newspaper or read an article, and without, obviously the articles will not be in Braille on the current news. Is this something that I can quickly read? Can I tell, a pamphlet comes home, I want to see what it is. There is a signboard outside my house, I just want to see what that signboard is. Then we started thinking about that as well. How do we address this problem? So what we came up, I'll just run a small video of a few minutes, what we have launched recently at Srikakulam. So what we did is we simplified from the initial design. We said that we don't want to have the AI chip on the glass itself, which is going to be expensive. So we moved all those AI models and all the intelligence onto the mobile, and we just have a plain camera. And based on a few touch for the blind person, they can start interacting with the system. So I'll just demo that quickly. Just give me 1 minute. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm just trying to run the video at audio also. So that gives a some kind of view. So this is the blind glasses we did. The black glasses are nothing but 100 rupees, 200 rupees, just plastic glasses, weightless glasses. What we built on top is this device that we are showing, right? It has a few Braille buttons and a camera attached to it, kind of the eye for the blind person. And depending on the interaction that the blind person is doing, so there's certain features built into it. So I'll just run through the video once.
Namaste, welcome to Criteria Media.
అది అఫోర్డబిలిటీలో లేకపోయినా ఫస్ట్ లో స్టార్ట్ చేసింది ప్రూఫ్ ఆఫ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఓపెన్ ఏఐ వాడాము. దాంట్లో కొన్ని లిమిటేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. మేము ఏం చేసామంటే మన సాఫ్ట్వేర్ టీమ్ దే ఇన్నోవేటెడ్ ఏ న్యూ లాంగ్వేజ్ మోడల్, స్మాల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ మోడల్. సో ద లార్జ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ లో గూగుల్లో ఉండే ఫీచర్స్ ని చిన్న మోడల్ తీసుకొచ్చి మన ప్రెమిసెస్ లోకి వి అప్లోడెడ్. సో దిస్ ఇన్నోవేషన్ బేసికలీ హెల్ప్స్ టు కీప్ ద కాస్ట్ ఎట్ జీరో because we are running the system in our premises. So KFRC premises లోనే ఆ AI బాక్స్ ఉంటుంది, దాని మీద సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఉంది. సో మనం అటు ఓపెన్ AI యూజ్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఇంకా లేదు. కానీ ఎఫిషియన్సీ ప్రకారం వీఆర్ వెరీ క్లోజ్. ఐ థింక్ దట్స్ ద బెనిఫిట్ ఫర్ ద దృష్టి.
సో ఇది కూడా మనకి చూస్తే చాలా
ఒకటి ఫేస్ రికగ్నిషన్ కి, ఒకటి రీడింగ్ కి, ఒకటేమో ఆస్క్ ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్. సో ఇవాళ వెదర్ ఎలా ఉంది, లేదంటే ఒక గేమ్ లో స్కోర్ ఎలా ఉంది, ఏదైనా మీకు కావాల్సింది, అయితే యూ వాంట్ స్పెసిఫిక్ థింగ్ అబౌట్ ఎనీ డిజీజ్, నాకు డీటెయిల్స్ చెప్పండి అని ఒక బటన్ నొక్కితే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా ఇట్ విల్ స్టార్ట్ రీడింగ్ అవుట్ వాట్ నోస్ అబౌట్ ద డిజీజ్. సో అలా వాళ్ళు కూర్చుని వాళ్ళకి లైఫ్ లో ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నా, లేకపోతే ఏదైనా ఒక డాక్యుమెంట్ చదవాలన్నా, ఒక బుక్ చదవాలన్నా, బేసికలీ ఇట్స్ a device that is easily accessible.
Yeah, I apologize. It is a little bit in Telugu. I hope the reason I was trying to share is to kind of give an overview on how the glasses look, and the different things that the glasses can do. As mentioned, the glasses can do a few things. One is the object detection. So we have basically uploaded around 4,000, 5,000 images into our small language model that is sitting on the mobile, and any common object that a blind person wants to detect. So once he presses a button and says I want to detect this, then automatically with the camera, and we'll be able to tell what the object is. It can be anything like a laptop, it can be anything in a chair, a conference room, a fruit, even a currency note. If he holds the currency note and he clicks a button, it tells him it is 100 rupee versus a 200 rupee versus a 1,000 rupees currency note. So that is extremely important to help the person in his day-to-day activities. The second important thing, another button on the glass, is about reading text aloud. As I said, you can hold a book and then in your arm, and then you click a button, and it will basically capture the image, convert it into a text format, and then start reading out the text in 4 to 5 languages, depending on which language the user wants to read. So that's addition. And we also have future plans wherein we wanted to provide some of the textbooks. If there is some content that we can provide for the blind people, we wanted to provide that in a QR format, so that the user just clicks on the QR format and a textbook and a certain lesson, if he can say, automatically that lesson or that page or that notes can be read out. So that is something that is in the works. Then familiar faces. You're sitting in a conference room, as I was mentioning. You just let's say you have 4 or 5 people around you. You just take you press a button, and you basically it will start looking for the faces that it can recognize, and start saying that Rajesh is sitting on the left side, then Ravi is sitting to his right, then Bhujangragar is sitting to his right. So it will say all the 4 names and all the 4 people that it can recognize. So that is very impressive for the blind person, especially when he's in a social environment. Maybe he's working in a job and he wants to know who's sitting where. So that gives him a context when he's having the conversation. Then voice-based interaction. We have integrated kind of chat GPT features also, and the Siri kind of features, where by pressing a button, you can ask any question, and then we actually go to the OpenAI and other platforms, and then try to get the answers for it. And then we tested out in various science concepts, like what is Newton's first law, what is Newton's second law, third law, things like that, where immediately you can ask a question and you can get the answer in a quick way. So what is the 2 innovations here for these glasses, right? Number one is the way we created the glass, the camera, and the chipset. Obviously, that is some work that has gone into it. The second piece of the puzzle is the software that we built and loaded into a regular mobile. It is basically his mobile. So it is just an app that can be downloaded from App Store and Play Store. And you just put the application on the mobile, and once you start interaction, it basically starts giving you the results. The second more important innovation is we understand that, as Dr. Bhujangragar said, we don't want a repetitive cost for the blind person. Obviously, we know that they're already having hardships. So, for example, if you want to get connected to the cloud and get connected to the OpenAI or other Google search, so it involves some kind of cost in managing that cloud and also the interfaces, which we wanted to make it free. So what we did is we built an SLM model with these features, and we trained the model with the data, the reinforced learning, and we basically put that into a GPU in KFRC premises. So that when we are interacting now for any of these features, we don't need to go into the paid content anywhere. We are self-sufficient on the SLM model, and this SLM model can be expanded now into various other aspects. So even we can build another SLM model for the deaf. We can build it for other things that we want to do for the blind. So these are the features that we built, and the differentiation obviously is coming from the technology that we have used, and also the simple feature sets that we have integrated via hardware onto the glass itself. Going forward, there were a lot of requests when we showcased this to the blind schools, is how can we get even navigation outside of his house? That's a bigger challenge. Obviously, a camera on the glass, which is at 5 feet at a height, will not be sufficient for helping the navigation when he's walking outside the premise. So for that, we are thinking into the future. We probably will have a couple of other cameras on his body or near his leg, so that we can at least tell if there is any stone or some hindrance on his way, and also give a kind of navigation like a Uber app kind of thing, where a continuous communication will drive him towards going left, going right in the outside world. I think that is an important feature, and that is something that is under development now. So what we have also done is taken this navigation piece, instead of putting a lot of sensors, we actually provided a few Bluetooth devices for inside his house. So, and then we mark them with saying that, closer to the TV, and, marked with some help from obviously from the parents or family. We kind of plugged in 2, 3 Bluetooth sensors in his house. So whenever he's going past those sensors, he gets a message there saying that he has reached the TV place, or he has reached the bar, restroom, or he has reached some place. And he can also start communicating, saying, from this place, how do I go to the other place? Then it automatically tells you take left, take right, and then reach the other side of the destination. This is more an indoor navigation that we have done to help out people. Let's say if they're working in Google or the big corporate offices, and we are trying to work with the corporate companies as well. If they can install these sensors, then using those sensors, we can guide their navigation so that they can go from the car or the parking space all the way to their work location. That's the idea. And we have not started those relationships with the corporates, but we are looking forward to, so that we can help navigate the person inside the corporate premises as well. So that's the product that we built. And as Dr. Bhujangarao has said, we are building now 1,000 of them. So we have donated through KFRC 200 of these devices. And I think every 2 months, around 100 to 200 devices will be given out. And in the future also, we are planning to build, I think, through KFRC, another 500 to 1,000 glasses even the next 6 months. So there is a team building it, and there is a team working on the next level of features. But that is the kind of the eye in the Drishti. That is the reason we have a double eye in the Drishti glasses, to emphasize that we are giving an additional eye to the blind people. I think with that, we'll probably take a pause, and me and Dr. Garu will take any questions that anybody has.
I want to add one or two and then leave it to the discussions, please.
Sure.
Yeah. Recently we had, as Rajesh was telling, we had distribution Srikakulam. The district collector was there. He was telling we are constructing a new district collectorate. Can we make it, enabled for blind people also, the building? And we have ramps for certain kind of disabilities. So in fact, yesterday I wrote to him, we can do it. This is what Rajesh explained. We can acoustic beacons. Basically what he said. Those beacons can be fixed at different points of his building, so that when they enter the thing, they can easily get. Of course, there also I have given other features like signage, how to make it, different sounds, how to make it, different places, end of the steps, beginning of the steps, beginning of the lift, inside the lift. All those also are given. But mostly our work, I also mentioned, when you wear these kind of glasses, the blind person, if this navigational aid is given within the building, they can go to all the places, workplace or washroom or canteen, whatever it is, that kind of things. That is one. And we want to make it as a national program with the support of as the people join us with support. Then we want to convert into a major national program and distribute these glasses at the lowest cost that is possible for us. Okay. Then one thing I forgot in KFRC, I would like to tell, very important, I feel. This is for the deaf people. One more thing we have done recently, that is a telemedicine for the deaf. When a deaf patient goes to a doctor, he cannot communicate. And unfortunately, in India, only 1 or 2 big hospitals have got interpreters for interpreting sign language, so that deaf person can communicate. Now, I understand, having worked with some deaf-enabled foundations, they're really silently suffering. And their average longevity is also less than general public. And they have anxiety and hypertension, these kind of problems. These are suffering. And they're not going to doctors also. 23% of the deaf patients, they never seen doctors because they don't know how to communicate. So we have created first time in India, a telemedicine center. This is the interpreter enabled telemedicine center. So anybody can dial, come onto the monitor, he can show sign language, his problem, and the interpreters we have put expert interpreters, 2 people, so that they don't miss any information. And there is a doctor immediately next to them. He will communicate to the doctor. Doctor will back to give diagnosis and properly this prescription, everything is made, and we are giving it to them. Everything, no charges, it is free, it is available. I have written letters to all the deaf institutions, I mean, especially in South India, I have written, so that they can utilize this. And we want to expand this kind of centers more. So this is I mean, some kind of empowering the deaf people to use this, this kind of facility. And we also want to add now more doctors, like women doctors for for this other gender. So these things we want to add and make it more number of these people, because there is a good footfall. People are asking. We are not able to expand all the 24 hours right now, but everything we want to do as people realize the importance and they want to use it, we want to do that. And this is we call it Sign Care Telemedicine Center for the Deaf, and it is operational and it is being used. And first time it was done. Thank you. This is I think we will leave it for the discussion now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bujang Rao, sir, Dr. Rajesh, sir, for these very, very interesting and innovative technologies that you're developing. And I'm amazed at the pace of technology. It's beyond our wildest dreams. How fast these technologies are advancing. It's like a logarithmic advancement in the past maybe 5-10 years, I think. As an ophthalmologist, I see a lot of blind patients, and especially I'm a glaucoma specialist. I see patients whose optic nerve is compromised, so they cannot use the retinal implants. So even if you develop a 1,000 into 1,000 pixel implant, that will not help the glaucoma patients or any. Somebody was asking about a choroidal tear and any other major retinal damage, retinal detachment, even for retinitis pigmentosa, putting it on the retina is done because it is easier than putting it on the brain. So ultimately, I think we should go to that stage where we can connect directly to the brain in a safe manner. So we'll see what happens. If you don't mind, I will share my screen and add a few points, and you can comment on that while we get more questions. Madam?
Please go ahead.
I'll just share my screen. So I'm just sharing a few things here. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So from the Cochin Ophthalmic Club, that is where I am. We were also very much impressed by all these technologies, and we have distributed smart vision glasses to some patients at some point of time. So this was last year that we did this, and I think that was also Indian made. I think a lot of smart vision glasses for the blind are being developed now, and I hope that these become more affordable. Like you said, Mr. Rajesh said that he has shifted all the technology to the phone and reduce the cost. And even Dr. Rao said that his main focus is frugal innovation, getting the things accessible at a affordable price. So I hope we get to that. I think we mentioned, I think Dr. Rao mentioned Neuralink's blind sight. So that is what the chip looks like. It is still not capable enough to provide anything more than spots of light, but hopefully we can crack the encryption of the visual cortex. AI is here to help us with cracking the codec decodec of the visual system, and we can get to that. And this is already they are asking for joining the patient registry. So if somebody really wants to get the Neuralink implant, they are already calling for patients to register for the clinical trials. This is another thing which I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you've heard about this. This is called The Voice, and the website is Seeing with Sound. Dr. Rao or Mr. Rajesh, have you heard about Seeing with Sound?
I heard about it.
Okay.
How effective and all, I'm not sure.
Right.
heard
So
about it.
I think it is something which can be added to the Drishti glasses. So according to patients, accounts which I have read here, this has been there for many years. This has the thing of replacing vision with sound. So whatever the camera sees, it converts into a soundscape. So it just converts into a frequency and amplitude modulated sound. And hearing that, the patient is able to understand what is in front of him. Is there any sharp edge in front of him? And by moving the camera around, they're able to build a picture of the whole space. So that could be one additional mode which can be added to the Drishti glasses. So you convert into seeing with sound mode, they see like the superhero Daredevil does. Sound is what they used to see. So that is something which can be added. Other than that, this is the Orcam My Eye. This is the one which is from Messi. This was very popular in WhatsApp forwards because this was an advertisement with Messi there. This is probably the very expensive. I think it is around 2 to 3 lakhs or even more. And what Sir has developed is a much more affordable version of this. So thank you, sir, for that. So this is what I wanted to add.
Yeah, and recently also one of the glass companies along with Ray-Ban has tried to integrate, the cameras on both sides, and they're also doing some of the the modeling and stuff on the mobile device. But
Right.
it's around 40,000 to 50,000 in the market right now.
I think it is once it is affordable and people start using it and it becomes normalized, that is when it will pick up quickly. Right now, it is just only the early adopters and people who really want to try it out will try it. So once
Correct.
they do it and it picks up, it should get better. So right now, what I'm sharing is my project which I tried. Where I tried to build, I think you can understand what I tried to build.
Correct.
So this is a smart vision glasses which I tried to build during COVID times. It's a Raspberry Pi Zero, and there is a camera also here, and these are ultrasonic sensors. So this was something which I tried to build, but I couldn't, build it completely because the software part is not easy to do. So I just tried to put the camera and board together. Yes, but yes, that is something which is of interest to me as well, sir.
True. Super.
We have Dr. Sanjay Arora on the call, who was mentioning about working with an organization which is distributing smart glasses. So Sanjay, would you want to elaborate on that?
Sure, Vidya. Thank you. I mean, you guys are doing phenomenal work. I'm just involved with VisionAid, which is a board based out of Boston, and they've got a lot of awards as well. And they are working with different places all over India, including LV Prasad and different eye institutes. And now they'll be working with AIMS. Actually, I have a meeting with the RP Center person. I'm just coming for a wedding next week. So I'm meeting with them, and we're going to distribute 550 AI glasses and smartphones. So I just want to lay it out there that, we just want to help get this technology out there. So if you have an interest, I can approach the board. I just joined the board recently. So if you have an interest in working, they're working with one company already, but if there is such a need that we can distribute, the goal is to get more people. So happy to help. You guys are the experts. I'm just helping get this out there. That's all. Thank you, Vidya.
You are speaking from?
I'm speaking from Boston, Massachusetts, USA, sir.
Oh, okay. Thank you. No, we'll be interested. See, anything, come join, work and do something better, useful for the society. We are interested.
Okay. I can get your contact information from Vidya. I'm her batchmate, so that's my claim to fame. So I will just get her information, your information from her, and we'll reach out later. Okay.
Yes. This kind of
Thank
programs
you so
is
much.
only to find such interactions and further expand and help people.
Right. And so we're going to work with Rotary Club in Delhi and with the AIMS RP Center, and we'll distribute about 500, 600 glasses
Okay, very
and
good.
smartphones.
Yeah, Sanjay, so any reason you're distributing the smartphones as well along with the glasses?
Good question. I think I will get more information on why both are needed, but they have done both.
Okay.
Yeah. Why do you ask that question? I'm curious.
No, the reason is today, if you even any blind person in India technically has a smartphone and they have a few things on their phone for because they usually get some messages and stuff. There are some softwares on the mobile where yeah, I think Google has provided them so that it helps them read those messages. So they're already pretty comfortable and aware of using the smartphones. So I was not sure why the smartphone is again given to them.
It may be a subset of the population which are not able to get it. I understand that this is potentially then something that can be taken away from people by corrupt people, potentially.
Yeah.
But, that certainly exists. But apparently it's a successful program. I'll hear more about it when I'm meeting at AIMS next week.
Sure. Yeah, please keep us in the loop. We are very excited.
Sure.
We're also doing this as a non-profit, right? So
yeah, this is a total nonprofit. VisionAid is a total nonprofit working all over India.
correct.
Thank you.
So, John, do you want to address any of the questions in the chat box? Maybe.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So somebody is asking what is the cost for the Drishti glasses, Dr. Raju?
Yeah, it's I'm not a doctor, so
Doesn't matter.
yeah, it's around 10,000.
Okay.
Yes,
So that is the most affordable I have seen. I've seen other glasses. So like I said, the Orcam is probably around 2 to 3 lakhs, and I've seen others which are around 40,000. I've seen another one which is again a camera module, which is probably around 20 to 30 again. So this is the most affordable one which I have seen. And people are asking, is Drishti applicable to a particular type of blindness, or is it diagnosis agnostic?
It is if we it is just a camera based glasses, right? So it really doesn't matter, or it we don't take into consideration on the how blind the person is or what are the difficult problems he has medically. So anybody can use it. Even a non-blind person can use it if they want to.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it is trying to aid the person in maneuvering his environment around. I think that's the goal.
And I actually would believe that there would be many people who are not legally blind who would really benefit from smart glasses, which can do at least some of the things here. So maybe face recognition, that is something which everybody would like to have. AI analysis of things in front of them, very much useful. Signboards in a different language, very much useful. So I think we will get to a point where the people who are not visually impaired will also want these
But
glasses.
we should reserve it for the blind people who are having 100% loss of vision or at least 80% loss of vision. That it serves them for them. Others it won't serve. Face recognition and all, they don't need it. Why do they use it?
Recognizing people.
Except for text to keep it for reading text, instead of opening the computer, they can use our glasses to read text. Okay, that kind, but that is not using for the right purpose.
Yes, sir. So
Yes.
right now, smart glasses are trending. So Meta glasses and Google glasses and many other glasses from Lenskart and many other Chinese glasses. I think Extreme glasses. All these are trending. They are trending because they put the camera on your face. It allows AI recognition on your face. It allows you to look at signboards, translate it into different languages, capture images, and all those things, capture notes. So yes, these classes specifically, what you are trying to aim is for visually impaired. But once people normalize it by putting glasses on their face, that is when people are going to start using. Okay, you don't agree?
Yeah. See, when we are giving free, somebody should not come and take it. It should be
Yes, sir. Yes,
given
sir.
only for the
Understand.
blind people with a declaration by a doctor and proper Aadhaar card like that. We are making it like that.
I think what
Otherwise,
John was trying to say is that perhaps if people who can afford it buy it, then it makes easier for you to
yeah, okay. That
give
is
it
okay.
free for
Subsidize that.
others. Like, you know, if you have paying customers, you can provide it free for more people.
No, no.
I think that's where John was trying to come.
Right, right.
Yes,
But
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
but to meet that requirement, no, we have so many lakhs of blind people. We are only talking hundreds, So we should not divert this to others. It is underutilization by them, and the most important people, they will not get it. That's why I'm telling
Correct,
clarity.
correct.
Has any work
And
been
also
done
for
on
elderly
children?
people.
Has any work been done on children with this?
I think actually, ma'am, children adapt to it very quickly. So here
I'm
in
just trying to
Cochin
ask
Blind School,
Rajesh and Bhujang Rao sir whether Drishti has been tried on children.
Children, I don't know which age you're referring, but generally college students and all, they're using it. Okay. Young children we have given, but they're in the learning of Braille and those kind of things. Up to 10th class, Braille is compulsorily taught in the school. After 10th class, no Braille, they have to listen by audition and store the information. No, for them, our classes are very useful for that. So that's why we are not intentionally going into two young children, disturbing them. Otherwise, they may start not learning properly Braille also. So this is some day. I mean, some suggestions came from some people. That's all. And many elders are using it. Ours, because for them, there is isolation at home. Nobody talks to very senior elders. But these people now can wear it. Blind elders, and ask questions. What is the weather today? What is news today? That kind of they can engage or read some Bhagavad Gita or some other Quran, whatever they want. That way they can utilize this.
Aditi, you seem to have a lot of questions. Would you like to unmute and speak? Aditi?
Vidya, I think Aditi is Dr. Ravi Kumar.
Okay. So there are lots of questions. So if you want to speak up, that should be fine, rather than us going through one question by the other. So I think the questions about bionic eye, I think, have been sorted. That basically once it is put on the visual cortex, then it should not matter, right? Whether you have a cornea or a globe or
glaucoma or whatever it is, it works.
Yeah, so somebody had asked about acid injury. Dr. Ashok Bade had asked about acid injury. So acid injury, if only the cornea is affected, I would only do a corneal transplant, because the human retina, if it's working properly, it is much better than what the bionic glasses can give. But he also asked, what if the whole eyeball is damaged? Then, of course, if both eyes are damaged, then these are the only options available right now. And the seeing with sound is another option. So seeing with sound practically gives better visual sense than the current current bionic implants.
So Ramalingam Raj has an important question. How long the user has to be static to get the object or person to be recognized? What is the processing duration time? And he says, excellent work, thanks.
Yeah, usually it is around 3 to 4 seconds. Once you press the button, then you basically take the image, send it to the mobile and get the answer for it. It takes around 4 to 5 seconds. And the person did not be static after he takes the image, right? So technically he just, I'm looking forward, I just press the button, then I do something else and I get the answer.
Only during the capture, you need to be better to be static.
Yeah.
Colonel Harikrishnan has another important question. I hope some visually impaired person is involved in the designing. There may be things which non-visually handicapped person may not even be able to imagine. So, did you get any feedback from people with who are visually challenged while developing your prototype, or as you moved on in the project?
Yes.
Yes.
Rajesh, you can tell. You have a visual impaired people with you.
Yeah. So we actually, when we started working on the project, we also went to LV Prasad Eye Institute, and they have a program where, they train the visually impaired for with some corporate skills and, they're not 100% blind, but there are maybe 80% blind. So they teach some tools and make sure that they can do some basic jobs like in accounting or in a bank. So we went to LV Prasad, we hired 2 3 people into the team, and then they were made as a center focus when we were trying to build any of these product features when we were integrating. The second is we also visited blind schools, which and then we did a demo with them. We asked them to wear the glasses and give us feedback, and that feedback loop we kept it open for 2 to 3 months before we finalized the features and then kind of customized it for the need. So we did work with the blind school, and we also have 2 3 blind people right now working in the company as well.
Fantastic. Shivam, would you like to speak up? You have typed a lot of, yeah. Hi.
Thank you. Thank you, Vidya. I think first, I just want to admire the courage and bravery of these two entrepreneurs compared to, I mean, even beyond their innovation. I hope there are many youngsters watching this because there is a lot of skepticism today, Dr. Bujranga as well as Rajesh, on AI and technology, and people think that these are superfluous and not of great benefit to health, and we are being distracted by these things from just delivering traditional healthcare. So what you have presented here is a sort of a marvel and a testimony to the worth of technology and AI in healthcare. So I just want to congratulate you and admire you. I'm an entrepreneur myself and been in technology for 30 years, but we always are scared at the pace at which we can do innovation. Whereas you have shown that, all you do is see a concept, think of a thought, and then next day possibly you're in the lab, and then maybe in 4 or 5 weeks you're on the road, and and in another month or so you're literally in production mode. Where do you get this courage? Where do you get this sort of energy? Is it because you guys are um, just risk takers, or do you have enough sort of retirement money so you can go and spend on these on other things, or you have really good well-wishers who push you? Where is the source of courage, which other people are not trying to get that courage? Because innovation is easy, but that courage and bravery is where I really admire, and hats off to both of you.
Thank you. Mhm.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll just answer from my point of view, then Dr. Garu can add his thoughts. See, I think when Dr. Bhujangarao Garu approached us, because we were in the business, right? So I have an IT services company, and then 2.5 or 15 years, we have a 300 people team working in Hyderabad and a 25 people team working in Bulgaria. So we are in the business of, developing solutions, and that's kind of the DNA of the company. So from one aspect, right? Then 2.5 years ago, we got started with Achala Health, mainly to say that, hey, whatever innovations we are doing or whatever things we have developed over the years, we want to specifically focus on the healthcare market because we saw there is a great need and opportunity. So if you look at the news that is coming out, especially from the hospital market in India, it is growing at a rapid pace. So from my point of view, the numbers, India is adding around 20,000 to 30,000 beds every year. And all the big hospitals like KIMS Hospital, for example, AIG, Aster Hospital, Manipal hospitals, because of the private equity investments are coming into the country, there's a massive expansion that is happening. So that is kind of the outside view on how the environment is. So we said, hey, if so much of money is flowing in, then there will be a lot of need on the technology side because hospitals also have to bring up their technology expertise. That is how 2 years ago we basically said, let's start Achala Health. And then we started building a lot of products for healthcare sector. As part of those, selling of those products is when I met Dr. Bhujangarao Garu in one of the meetings. And in just a side conversation, it so happened that, Dr. Gar was looking at a technology company if they can help, doing some, build out some solutions for what he's doing as research work. Then I got interested. I said, hey, we have been doing business for so many years. This seems like a nice social cause. I thought like maybe, we'll spend a little bit time with one or two resources as a side project, as a social CSR kind of initiative. And we said, okay, let's do it. But that was the kind, and I never thought it will become so big, frankly. And I never thought that we would be able to solve the problem so affordably at less than 10,000 rupees that we can supply the glasses. So then when Bhujangarao said, we took it up as a challenge, we put up a couple of people from our side as an interesting problem to solve. And then as we started solving it, as we started meeting the blind people and the blind schools, suddenly that interest kind of pushed us in the direction of making it happen. And frankly speaking, with the support from KFRC, especially Chairman Bhaskar Rao Garu, he was always supportive of the initiative. And Bhujangarao Garu was very patient in taking us through the journey. So we were obviously doing a lot of prototypes, like as Dr. John was doing. We were trying to put the chipsets on the glass, on the frame of the glass. We tried a lot of models. Then we were trying to bring somehow some kind of AI models into it, but it was become bulky. It was not working. It was working very slowly. So we went through a journey like an actual product. And Dr. Bhujangarao was very patient with us, I think. And there was no pressure from investment or investor, right? So that was also a blessing in disguise for us. And then we slowly made it happen. And then suddenly it struck us, hey, why are we trying to do it on the glass? I just can do it on the mobile. It just happened to occur. And then we said, okay, then that solves a lot of issues for us. And then we went ahead, then we demoed it to it, then everybody was happy. And then suddenly we said, hey, we want to launch it in a big scale. So that's the journey we went through. So to your question, sir, I think a little bit of eagerness to do it and a lot of support. I think somebody should have the vision and then drive it, saying that, hey, we'll make it happen. And also a team who believes in it and then, make it happen. I think luckily all those things, I think, came together. I think that's how I think I would define this journey.
That's awesome. Awesome. And Rajesh, I'll get your contacts from Vidya and we'll be in touch.
Sure. Thank you, Shivam.
Bhujangarao sir, would you like to add something to that? And thank you, Shivam, so much for asking that question, that the becomes so much more personal and the emotional side of it we could see rather than just the business and the tech side of it.
Absolutely.
No, my journey, I can say, interest is with cochlear implant almost 25 years back. It all started because when I was a very small young boy, I was playing with a child who was deaf and dumb. I was not knowing the reason. He used to come, smile and play, but I used to play with him for 2-3 years. After that, I left that village and we don't know. So that is very much in my mind, how to help a deaf person. So luckily, even my master's degree also, I took acoustics as specialization so that I can contribute. So that seed was there in me. Then when I became a scientist and working, then I realized that Australian firm, Professor Grammy, he is a great man. He was the first person to implant a cochlear implant in 1987. So, but still, even today, this is a quite guarded secret, especially the signal processing. Those very many things are there. It is very complex here, So I was developing those specific signal processing was a big challenge. I had some people in Andhra University, one Professor Sitaramaya was a company, was equally interested like me. He's no more, unfortunately, last year he passed away. And he was my good worker. We both together, there were no Saturday, Sunday for us. We used to work for this. Other days, NSTL, my job. And I never missed a promotion or anything because I'm doing on this. Though there were people who were calling by name. He's doing this work, that work. What naval science has got to do with deaf people, why he's working, wasting time. There are some people, but as something happening, then Dr. Kalam visited, he himself interested in this. He declared in one of the meetings, Bhujangarao is going to do this job. So further, and he also arranged a meeting with doctors in Delhi. to explain to me, go and see how they transplant arranged. So like that, many quarters people started coming and helping. So the encouragement went on. But some of the problems, like doing a cadaver trial was very difficult. I have a big hospital in Vizag. There are everyday cadavers are coming, going, but I can't get one to do this trial because there are so many rules are there. It's not so easy. I realized it's not just go and do something. I need a fresh cadaver where the fluids have not evaporated, or that kind. Otherwise, I don't know whether the impedances and all I want to measure, I will not get it, and those kind of problem. But many doctors help, and I think if you do some good work, there are many people to support. That's what I realized. Sometimes, so some of my colleagues used to definitely call me by name. He is doing this, he is doing unnecessary, could have done that, something like that. But they don't know my pleasure, what I was getting, and I keep realizing. Finally, it was implanted, and it worked. He was a TB patient. He lost both ears completely, postlingual. We had implanted some others also. There were some failures there. Because of some time passes, it fails. That is because of production problems, like production. Some of the components we got it from US. We have no way of testing them. Some small, there are basically feed throughs. That means just not non-electronic, this is purely mechanical item. So that kind of things. So, but at the end, I'm happy that a person has been implanted by Dr. Mary John from CMC Hospital, and she was very kind to do that. And so I think overall, when people are ready to do, there are people to encourage also. Then funds also started coming for me after that very easily. So
thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. If anyone else has any questions or comments, please feel free to unmute and speak. Otherwise, since we are almost close to our time, Radhakrishna, would you like to say something?
But it's a very exciting session, I should say, that listening to engineers doing some medical related work. But I understand in India, the engineers, the technologists are very good in their work, and the doctors also are extremely good. But
top doctors are top in the world.
Why they didn't marry? Why is it that they didn't marry? Why is that they don't meet? Why is that very, very few sparks like you? Why isn't it happening? I mean, that's what surprises me. One. Two is, if we doctors go and see you work, we'll not have any understanding. We don't get an idea. But if you come and see us work, you'll find out that a lot of areas are there where you can help. There should be some mechanism. Like you rightly say that the engineering and medical establishment should be next to each other. But somewhere we have to create these interests of younger generation engineers. And I think they'll come up so many. Actually, I'm surprised, sir, Bhujang Rao, sir, that you have so many innovations, so many ideas. Actually, frankly, if you work with us for a day, with me for a day, and Vidya for a day, you'll suggest so many things. There should be some mechanism that. Second thing that intrigues me is that how is the corporate sector got involved in this? Because corporates always look for money and profit and name and business, and how it actually got into this and what is their aim. I'm surprised. I do not know that. And I think these things should happen more, and more engineers and doctors should. Now, if I have to approach an engineering graduate or somebody to look into my specialty and innovate a few things, how should I go about? Where will I get that talent pool?
Yeah, I mean, I can say, some of the DRDO, ISRO, Department of Atomic Energy, some of the seniors who retired, they can be probably easily approached. They have that umbrella-like kind of knowledge, and under their guidance, young engineers can be trained. If you straight away bring from college, no use. For example, I understand, for example, somebody is doing BTech in medical electronics, India. In US, I also met one medical electronics student. He said, when I joined, immediately I was taken and shown a surgery as part of my team. My team was taken, and at a sub distance through a glass, we were seeing everything, how they are doing. We are excited. But in our India, none of them have seen any such thing, complex thing. They just study something and, standard examination system, and they pass it. So the practical bridge is not properly done. That is very important. You complete a medical electronics means you must know thoroughly how a MRI machine is designed, how a ultrasonic machine is designed, how a ECG machine is designed. It was all designed by engineers as well as doctors. Combination. Somebody will get ideas, somebody will test it, and they will certify it. Like that's all, no. So these two things are to be brought. And similarly, we have a lot of medical, these technology centers have come, parks, medical parks have come, technology parks. Every state has started one medical technology park. Now their aim is get a technology from abroad and start production. By that way, you will not reduce the cost unless that is designed and developed here. They're not doing a backward integration with the scientists. Like we know Vespa story. We got Vespa imported, but somebody finally made a Bajaj scooter and became, like Maruti. Like that, here also there should be tie-ups. That is not done.
My second question is, sir, whether it's your cochlear implant or the smart glasses, why are these done in very small amount, small measures? Why it's not been escalated? Why not everybody requiring a cochlear implant is getting one?
True. Cochlear implant is a very complex thing, as you know. So whatever I have done within the government sanctioned, all I have done. As I said, no, 2 chips are required. One only I could make it for the money given. Other one, they said no chip, you just make like a mobile phone size. If it works, then we can convert that also. So that part is over. Now the new DRDO team is doing that with Kerala CDAC is there. They both together. They're supposed to bring it down within 3 to 4 years. So that will be available now. And that is also latest technologies, all signal processing techniques. There are one dozen techniques are there in various ways is combined to do that. High frequency, low frequency, high intensity, all that. So they're doing it. It will come out. Whereas Bionic Eye, we should start. Because I am very sure we have the full technology available in different parts of the country. Putting together, giving some good funds, making them work. They should not come and contracts and go. In Indian government system now is contract jobs. That won't work. So I'm still doing with the ministry and I'm writing letters. I'm doing my job that way also. We can assemble a team. We can work for say 5 to 6 years. Then we can bring a Bionic Eye, whatever Neuralink is doing. And those things we can do easily. It's not difficult. When we have to that now already, he has also mentioned what kind of trials he has done. Both Monash University, also by this one only, video cortex. So what kind of animals they have tested, how they have passfence tested, all are slightly recorded. Now more data is available. So if we get chance, we can easily do in 5-6 years a Bionic Eye in the country. Maybe you also at your forums, you please tell. We'll all join together.
That'd be wonderful. So Vidya, Sanjay Bedi wants to say something.
Yes, I wanted to raise one issue. I mean, which Dr. Radhakrishnan has also raised, that in India only where there are couples, husband is a doctor, wife is a software engineer, or vice versa. These partnerships work very well, and they have come up with products, very good products. Yes. Otherwise, the partnership is not coming very well. I mean, there are issues. And secondly, there is a big deficiency of IT professionals in medical colleges. I mean, even for basic medical informatics, except for top maybe 30 colleges, we don't have any trained IT persons in majority of the colleges, even for patient record management. Or, I mean, there is a need to create, I mean, we have making ABHA IDs compulsory. What is the use of ABHA IDs if we don't have a basic IT people within the colleges? I mean, except top 50 or so. I mean, I mean, this issue, I mean, because everything works in a synergy. So what if there are good patient records, it will provide a basis for artificial intelligence in the long run. I mean, having Abha IDs linked to patient records, that 1.4 billion people, if their patient records, that will make a big database. I mean, these things, I mean, then what Sir has demonstrated, they will become more and more useful. I mean, if this one small gap can be filled, that a certain IT posts are created inside medical colleges, that will generate employment also, and that will raise a lot of issues also. I mean, that will solve a lot of issues also. I mean, this is I wanted to raise.
Thank you so much for your comments, sir. That's a thought for the day, and probably we should plan a session around that as to how to improve bioinformatics in the medical school. Akila, you have a hand up. Did you want to say something? We are almost out.
No, it's not a query. It's probably a request to Mr. Rajesh to think of something for dementia patients. Is something possible for such equipment can help dementia patients?
Actually, we can extend it. When we started,
I'll give you the sample at Chennai, sir.
Okay.
The sample population.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for a very interactive session. Your closing comments, Bhujan Rao, sir.
So, first of all, my sincere thanks to you for organizing this, meeting such eminent persons across, without any strings attached. Is a very good opportunity for me to come to know and also explain, so that maybe in future we all can join in some form or other, and it will help us to take forward our agenda, how to help people, how to solve this deaf people problem, blind people, or any other disabilities people. These all. And let me thank you, every one of you, for giving this opportunity to interact with you. It is a knowledge for me also, learning many things from you. Thank you.
Your closing comments, Rajesh.
Yeah, thanks to Dr. Vidya, because I was, when Venu, my close friend, sent me a message, I was not very sure. But now I understand, the thinking behind having these forums and trying to spread the knowledge, especially on medical innovations. Glad to be here, and thanks Dr. Bhujan Rao Garu. On short notice, he also joined. And to the point that technology and medical have to come together. We are always technology people are open, and if we find the right collaboration side of things, I think we can bring out a lot of big innovations.
Thank you, and I must specifically thank Ravi Shankar for bringing us together. And I mean, the network of Marvelous Medicine is so wide that somebody knows somebody, and then we are able to put a program like this together. So, John, your closing comments?
So, as Sir said, we need to have engineers and doctors working together, collaborate, and I think somebody also mentioned innovation is easy. It's not easy, but yes, that is easier than putting together a product which goes to market, which is actually in production. So that part also needs to be. So engineer, doctor, and somebody who pushes it into the production phase. That is what we need.
We'll meet next week with another episode of Marvelous Medicine, and hopefully another session on innovations next month. Till then, good night, take care, and stay safe.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Every one of you. Good night. Have a nice time.
You too, sir.
Dr. Rao, I'd like to meet up sometimes.
Sure.
You.